Hi, if you've ever wanted to start something, be it a new venture, new business, or be the pioneer of something, then this is for you. Today I want us to talk about starting from scratch, yani starting from zero. And if you've ever started building something, then the following words are familiar: fear, anxiety, and it's just something the back of your head screaming failure. And if you've ever told people, or when you share your dreams with people, some will keep quiet, some will encourage you to pursue it, and others will just tell you outrightly, no, you can't do it, it's impossible, or you're crazy, or you're out of your mind. And every good thing that has ever started began with an idea, and that is why you have to start. And not tomorrow, not the day after, but today. You have to start today, and you have to start now. What holds us is the fear of failure, and also just perfectionism. So you want to get everything right before you start. But in most cases, and I've even heard people who have already made it, or who I will perceive to have made it, just tell about their stories and say when they started out, they didn't even know what they were doing. So they didn't have it all figured out. But when we chase perfectionism, it holds us back. We're not able to start because we think things are not perfect. But eventually things fall into place. So you have to begin, because every great thing began with the conceptualization of an idea. And once you start getting out there, once you start pursuing something, you will face a lot of things. And I was listening to a podcast, and the people who were talking were saying, when you start doing things, shaking the system, you will realize that you will attract both good and bad. You will attract light and moths. Light are people who encourage you, people who like us, positioned even by God to just help you get to where you're supposed to be. And then the moth are people who are naysayers, they are pessimists, they just ridicule you and all that. And when you're facing all these things, you have to remember why you started. And I was even looking in the scripture, and when Nehemiah was rebuilding the walls, he was ridiculed. He was told even a little fox can trample over the wall he was building. And people who have ever built, people who have ever started something, do not do this. People who know the process and know what it takes to build don't ridicule others. But it is also always these people who are just watching from the sides, people who don't relate with your journey, people who think you made it by luck or privilege, who are always trying to pull you down. But always you have to remember why you started, because at the end of the day, you only owe it to yourself to make it happen. So if you're in the process of building, if you're thinking of building, it's just time to start. And this is not me telling you, but I'm also in that phase, and I have realized the things that I have done that are now in the, I will say, middle phase, is they started from somewhere. And it took belief, it took a lot of persistence, and with persistence also comes patience. So you can be consistent, but if you don't know the end goal, you'll give up. You will face a few challenges, and you're like, to hell with all this, I don't have to do it. But if you remember why you started, trust me, keep pushing, be patient, don't compare. Everyone has a journey, and if you start comparing, then you lose it, because you're like, but nani, we started the same time, but they are doing better than I am. Then it's okay, you clap for them when it's happening, and you stick to what you wanted initially, because if you give up, then again, it's on you. And at times you just have to, again, just keep learning, keep rebuilding, because you will realize when you started, you thought things will go a certain way, but then as you're going, you realize kumbe you have to readjust mpaka ikue perfect. So keep pushing, keep building. At the end of the day, you'll only have yourself to thank, and be your own self motivator, and at times you just have to clap for yourself. Thank you, and have a beautiful day. To success. Cheers.